Hello, everybody. We have Jaka today with us. And Jaka, in two sentences, what was your business idea and how does it change the world?
What was or what is my business idea was of building a lead B2B lead generation agency for tech companies, and it changes the world, or it helps people or businesses by bringing them high quality leads or sales qualified leads and growing their business.
Excellent. But when was the moment that you decide that you go from the idea that you don't want to go to the, I don't know, to get the ordinary job, but to become an entrepreneur and put your idea into work? And what was the breakthrough, or what makes you do that and go into that?
Um, I guess I was always kind of like, I don't know, curious, wanted to try a lot of things. Thought that certain jobs or positions that I had were just not giving me enough freedom or ability to do certain things on my own, or maybe I thought that I could do them better. And so past businesses started in that way, and this current business um, also started, I guess, in this way, um, of basically first seeing how you connect people, or B2B oriented businesses in real life, in like person to person setting. And then later on, when I worked at an IT company, just realized that I was just mind blown and fascinated that, like, just by sending out a few highly targeted messages. Of course, there's a lot of things that go into the research, understanding both sides and seeing how they align. But like, just how that message or a few messages sent to the right address can make a huge difference, and you get a reply back from this huge company, from this super important or famous CEO, and he's like, "Yes, I'm interested." And that's what kind of, I don't know, just got me excited. I was like, "Wow, I can do that!" So I said, "Hey, I
So
think I can do it even better than like the current process that we had or we did back then." And yeah, that's how it started.
excellent. And so we said we'll be talking today about how to get leads with cold email. So how do we do that?
So yeah, I guess cold email is just one possible channel. Of course, you can use the same blueprints to do it through any other channels, but cold email, despite a lot of people saying that it's dead, that it's not working anymore, and so on and so forth, is still the number one and the best channel to use for reaching out to reaching out to the decision makers. Of course, you can use LinkedIn, you can use other channels as well, but I guess everyone has an email. If you Doesn't matter what kind of business you do, usually have an email, and therefore you can be reached via email. And it's like, to put it simply, how you reach people via cold email is, you decide who you want to reach. You first make the research. You create a detailed ICP, or so-called ideal customer persona, where you define all the traits that you wish to see in the leads or the potential businesses that you would like to work with. And once you have that defined really well, you actually know who to look for. It sounds really basic. It sounds really simple, but why we're really good at what we do is because we really get down to basics. We get them right, and I believe that's where our edge lies. Of course, you want to use the best possible tools, you want to have the best possible talent, and so on and so forth. But getting the basics right is still, I believe, the number one thing that a lot of businesses uh, kind of forget about, or just think they can fast forward in certain things.
Mhm.
But yeah, defining the ICP, knowing who you want to go after, making a list of companies, and then picking out the right decision makers from these companies, and then sending them a message or a sequence of a few carefully crafted messages, and that's it. Then you get amazing replies back saying, "We're interested. We want to buy. Please take our money."
Excellent. I like that. So, despite what people think when talking about cold emails, I think the most of them think, okay, I'll craft some email and I'll send it to my database or some scrapped database of emails, and I'll be rich. You said that's the point is that you find the right people and you know what to tell them, and that's what you do. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not just like spamming people. It's not sending mass emails to everyone, or like to all the companies or certain organizations in a certain industry. But
Mhm.
it's like filtering and like narrowing down and segmenting all these companies or contacts that you're addressing, and really sending each, let's say if you segmented them in more or diverse segments, um, sending them the message that really resonates with them, kind of addresses their pain points or educates them in a proper way or just provides value. And that's what gets you replies.
Yeah, great. If I'm your best customer, who I am, and how do I approach you, and how do you help me? How much time and my engagement does it take, and how much is my investment?
So, as a B2B lead generation agency, we're primarily focused on working with tech companies. Um, so companies that are in either software, are more industrially oriented, energy, cybersecurity, and similar.
Mhm.
Those are the companies that we work with the most. They usually range between, they go, they usually do about 20, 50 million in revenue or more, have recently raised a round and have been funded or similar, and have an existing sales team that knows how to go about and close leads that we provide. Um, so those are maybe a few of criteria. It's good that they, of course, know what they're doing, that they have like an established sales process. That's definitely a bonus. And we like to work with clients long term. What else? We kind of, it's hard to, we usually don't talk regarding pricing until we kind of see how and if we are a good fit. But our pricing usually starts at about 3,000 euro and above for like kind of our basic package. Mm, what did I miss or forgot to answer?
No, I think that's what I ask. I mean, this 3,000. Oh, how much? I don't know. Engagement from my side. Do you expect or need?
So usually how our, like, kind of our customer journey with our client works is, we do the first introductory call. I usually we quite quickly see if we're a good fit or not, and usually we don't require that much input from our client side, because we understand that our clients are very busy and they appreciate that we take as much kind of workload off them as possible. And so the introductory call, and maybe another one where we kind of do, if necessary, of course, like a short workshop where we together define the ICP. And that's basically it. That's where we take over, and we take care of the rest of the process. So basically, what we do, if this is the timeline of the entire sales process, and let's say that this is the beginning and this is the end. So this is where the customer found out about our client's product, and this is where the deal was closed. We basically take care of this first, so to say, 30-40% of the process, which is the part of where we kind of get the attention, engage the prospects, so they actually yeah, so that they're actually interested in going on a call or learning more and so on. And this is usually the part that takes it's the most time consuming for our clients, and this is where we kind of do the most heavy lifting. So we take care of the first part, where we engage the clients and get them on the call with our client, and yeah, that's basically it. Then they take over. They have the more technical knowledge that's required to continue the sales process, and they basically close the deal, push the sales process forward, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Great. How long does it take to work with you usually, or I don't know, perhaps the average client? How long do they work with you, and how fast do I see the results?
Yeah, good question. So we as I mentioned, we like to work with our clients long term.
Mhm.
So we usually do 3 months minimum. Um, we do 3 months minimum because that's like a decent amount of time to give enough leads and to basically address enough prospects for a client. Uh, we usually take, depending on how busy we are, but we usually take about 1 month to prepare the campaign, and then the campaign starts. They can usually see results already in the first week or two, and yeah, I would say yeah, on average, uh, minimum is like 3 months, but then it really depends. Sometimes the clients, we work with our clients like for half a year or the entire year, and then they have enough of new leads, clients, and they have to like focus on that, and we give them some space, and then they come back and we work again together, for example.
And you use the same approach for for get clients for your company too.
Yeah, exactly. So we have two of our own software companies, and we use, since they're kind of like very niche software products with a very kind of small total addressable market, meaning that there's not a lot of companies out there that are even a good fit for the software. It's very niche. They're very difficult to find, and that's kind of what we're good at. We're good at finding and getting to the companies that are difficult to reach, that are like really niche, super niche companies or products, technical, and yeah, that's the companies or products we like to work with. Um, and the method we use a lot is called account-based sales or account-based marketing. And just to put a simple analogy would be, usually when you market or sell, you kind of just throw a net and see what you caught. So basically, there's a whole sea of like companies that you can address, and if you throw the net, you're basically gonna catch a bit of everything. But what we do with account-based sales or account-based marketing is we're kind of like catching or fishing, not with the net, but with a harpoon, so to say, where we go after exact specific companies. And basically, as soon as they reply, we know that we got a really, really highly qualified company. And if the deal goes through, it's going to be a really good fit. So we kind of try to save a lot of time for our clients as well, so they don't waste time and go on calls or meetings with companies that are not a good fit for them. And that is a thing that can happen with technical companies or products. as you may know, because you've been in this industry for way longer than I have. And if you do a lot of calls and a lot of meetings, you want to have them. You want them to be high quality or well qualified. So knowing that you're talking with the right people, with the right decision maker, and that you're not wasting time talking with people that are companies that are basically not even a good fit or not going to buy. So yeah.
So if somebody is listening to this and wants to work with you, how do they reach to you? LinkedIn?
Yeah, email, or they can come to our website, book a quick meeting, or read through our through some resources and get to know us a bit better. And yeah, as soon as they see that they would be they would like to work with us, they can reach us either via LinkedIn or of course via email. So yeah.
So do you think that it's the time in history today when that's the most easy to build a profitable company?
Oh, good question. Yes and no, I would say. Um, I mean, living in uh, being an entrepreneur today, I guess for starting off in the beginning, it's way easier, especially now with all these amazing AI apps that help you basically craft and build an MVP super quickly. Really sophisticated software apps can be made just by vibe coding, and they're good enough to start off at the beginning. From that point of view, I'd say it's getting easier and easier as using technology, or like more and more people have access to complex tools that they can use, and they're becoming more and more simple. And so yeah, definitely easier, but at the same time, each and every day there's more and more of us on this planet, and every single one of them, or a lot of them, are working really really hard to be better than you. So you've got more and more competition every day. So yes and no.
Okay, but I think because I think it is definitely because on the other way, the world is your playground. A few decades or years ago, you can make business in your neighborhood, but it was hard to do business abroad. Today, there's no there. The whole world is reachable with a few clicks, and you can advertise for nothing via social media. And of course, there's a lot of competition, but I think the opportunities are much wider than they were a few years ago.
Most definitely, and like an interesting story, kind of related or maybe relevant for like the for this topic that we just kind of opened is mm, yeah, it's definitely easier even to get funding. Like if a funny cold email story with this European startup that's gotten really enormous called Synthesia, if you might have heard of it.
Mhm.
And their story started with the founders basically sending a cold email to Mark Cuban saying, "Hey, we've got this idea. Do you want to invest?"
Yeah.
And a few minutes later, Mark Cuban is like, "Let's jump on a call. Yes, I'm interested." And he actually ended up investing. And now Synthesia is basically a $1 billion company. I mean, they're a unicorn, and they're one of the biggest or best known startups in European ecosystem. And it all started with one email. So yeah, definitely some things are way easier. I guess back then when you started off, it was not as easy, right?
Absolutely not. And today, I think also these big names are used to get uh, contacted by a lot of people, a lot of different people,
Mhm.
and this was unusual a few years ago, but today everybody thinks I can reach anybody, and that's true. If not directly, you are two, three people away from basically anyone.
Exactly, exactly. And even we're like sometimes surprised when like I don't know, you craft this amazing campaign and you launch it, and then sometimes even after like a few hours or a few days later, you're just like surprised when you see like all these, I don't know, amazing CEOs writing back saying like and they're from all different parts of the world. And it's amazing how technology has in a way made a lot of things way easier.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, what surprised you most on your entrepreneurial journey?
What surprised me most?
What
Uh,
did you expect it would be as it is?
hmm, depends on how long, how long back I would reflect, but I'd say what we kind of talked about before. It kind of doesn't get easier in a way. In a way, it does. In a way, it does. I would say because still I see how like each and every day, like when you're getting better and better, you're putting certain processes in place that make things way easier, faster, and so on. You actually see the progress, and it's important to take time and to reflect on your on certain past successes, not to just like speed forward. Um, yeah, maybe that kind of doesn't get easier, although it does. But we just start we're able to lift heavier in a way, or we just have more high quality problems. You're tackling it's not easier, but you're tackling bigger challenges, bigger problems.
Yeah.
um,
We raised the bar.
yeah, exactly, you're raising the bar. Raising the bar.
Excellent. Uh, what do you think was the best or the worst advice, business advice you get?
um, so I would start with the worst. um, and I'd say it's what we mentioned before is follow your heart,
Mhm.
like follow your passions or like stuff like that. It is true in a way. You should be kind of passionate, um, but the better advice for me would be saying do what you're good at. So don't follow your heart, but do what you're good at.
Mhm.
And when you're going to be doing what you're good at, you're eventually going to get even better and you're going to start loving it.
Ag-
Because if you do something and you're really good at it, people are going to be like praising you. You're going to be happy. You're going to be getting the chills, like seeing how you're improving and helping people. And you're eventually going to start loving it as well. Because if you just follow your heart, your passion, sometimes I'd say we can get a bit blindsided and we go after tackling challenges that people people are either not willing to pay for or are not that important for them, or yeah, in a way. So it's better to do what you're good at and that people need as well. Eventually you start loving it. I believe that's a better way to go.
Agree, 100%. So, if you would start again, would you change something, or would you go exactly the way you were doing things?
Difficult question. I don't think I would change a lot. Maybe I just start failing faster.
Mm,
I just start failing faster.
I like that.
And not be yeah, I would just start failing faster, not be worried about what other people think. That's one big one for me, especially. Uh,
I
not
like that because I have a KPI that is number of fuck ups. And if I don't get enough, that means I'm too much in my comfort zone. So I have to work on that.
that is so true because like the sooner you realize that people don't care or like that you just think that some people like are gonna be like talking behind your back, like we're all so busy, we're all really busy living our lives, doing our thing, going there, going right and left, and just focus on yourself or like the people around you, the closest people around you, and on their opinion, I would say.
And I heard one thing that is really stuck to me with
Mm.
that about talking behind your back, saying they are behind for the reason.
Yeah, exactly. But not just like I said, listening to the people that are closest to you, kind of for like sometimes for maybe emotional support or something like that, but still focusing on people that have walked this path before you and learning from them, and that is like probably that's all. That's also my favorite one of my favorite advice to to definitely get a mentor to learn from people that are like maybe 5, 10 years ahead of you, not
Mhm.
too much, not 20, not 30 years ahead, because that's too big of a burden or too high of a bar to reach maybe for you at that point. um, uh, but maybe 5, 10 years ahead of you, learning from them, or sometimes it's just enough to learn from maybe your competition, if not in your country, maybe abroad, and not thinking you're the smartest person in the room or elsewhere, and that you're gonna come up with everything. Certain things have just been field tested, and certain companies maybe either here or abroad have invested millions and have field tested certain approaches or strategies or tactics, and it would be just silly to think that you know better. So sometimes it's as simple as seeing what others are doing and maybe just adjust a few things for your market or your niche.
Correct. I started my career as a high school teacher, and what I learned is that I can only teach you what you almost know. I can't.
Okay, that's an interesting thought.
I can't teach you derivation or I don't know integration if you only know how to add and subtract.
Mhm.
So for the closing, uh, what would you suggest or advise want people who want to be entrepreneurs or who want to be successful to start with cold emails?
Definitely. I think like having the ability to send to doesn't matter what you're gonna do. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to reach out to certain people that are like either really difficult to access or not.
Mhm.
And that's cold email is definitely gonna come in handy. You don't have to do it at a scale that maybe that we do. Sometimes it's really effective if you just send maybe like 5 really highly targeted emails, but definitely keep them short. Don't write an essay. Keep them, make it short. Make it kind of like it has to be. Um, Certain things have to be left out, and just the important things, or like sometimes just a question is enough.
Mhm.
But you also said being an entrepreneur and being successful. I'd say those are like two very different things. Because I'd say that one thing a lot of us probably don't realize is entrepreneurship is extremely difficult. And being successful and being an entrepreneur are two things that don't always go hand in hand.
Mhm.
And that you have to be, you have to be ready. for life that it's not going to be like really easy. You're going to have to put in a lot of work, a lot of long hours, sometimes weekends, and that's the price that you have to be willing to pay for several years. So sometimes it's for a lot of people to just it's easier to maybe to get a job, but they really feel this a strong calling and wish to start something on their own. Um, definitely do it. Maybe first like uh, it's maybe it's easier to first have a job, start a side hustle, something on the side, grow it, and once it's big enough, then you leave your job and then you go all in on your entrepreneurial venture.
So, what would you say was the most rewarding part of this entrepreneurial thing for you?
The most rewarding, um, I don't know, just having this with one word, I would say I don't know, kind of freedom or like yeah, freedom and growth.
Mhm.
I felt a lot of times that why do I have to wake up at like 6 a.m. or like if it's like if it's the weekend and I feel like working on the weekend or like at 10 in the evening, so what? Like it's just the ability to be able to do that or to take time off and go on a 2 month vacation, work remotely, do this, do that. And but even most importantly, I don't know, a lot of times I felt like I was limited by limited with the ability of like how much you can grow or how much you can earn, and that was probably the strongest driver for me. Not necessarily only being able to earn more, but also the ability to pick exactly who you're going to work with. And if there's certain if you have a job and if you're working with certain coworkers and if you just feel that they're like either I don't know, maybe you don't vibe with them for some reason, they're giving you a hard time, you don't like get along, or they're just not working hard enough. And like if you're more entrepreneurially oriented, you have the ability to pick who you're gonna go to war with in a way.
I
To
like
have the best people around you.
So you basically have control over how you want to live your life.
Yeah, exactly. And having that freedom is just it's just amazing. And then seeing like, hey, I built this company, it's growing. I'm actually helping other companies. That's
Mm.
unbelievable. And in B2B, maybe you don't like sense sometimes that as much, but like if you're in B2C oriented companies, you feel that gratitude from people, but also in B2B. But that's kind of priceless. Seeing that something that you built, that you're doing, is helping people so much, making them happier, growing, building. Yeah.
Excellent. I like that. So I think we're at the end of the time. Would you add something, or should we wrap it up?
As I mentioned before, like it's I find it great that you're doing this, connecting with people from all over the world, like interesting leaders, entrepreneurs, and so on. And was a pleasure being your guest and chatting with you. And I
Really?
look I look forward to meeting and hanging out in the future as well. And all the best with your project and what you're doing. Really
Thank you. Okay.
awesome. So,
Bye.
Robert, thank you so much, and I'll see you.